The SAT is a test that can serve as a pathway to college as well as to success. However, data suggests that the SAT testing process is not fair and it caters towards higher income students. Higher income students score about 100 points on average higher than lower income students. Now, we can all empathize with our peers when it comes to test taking. The stress can be overbearing for some, and even though you may know the content, you'll still struggle because the stress just gets to you. Today I'll be going over 4 main points: SAT statistics, modifications that we can make to the SAT testing process, the effects of these modifications, and what you can do. Now let's move on to our first point, SAT statistics. Statistics show a trend. Statistics show proof that changes should be made because they may have bias towards certain groups. For example, in the SAT, students that come from families that make over $20,000 a year score on average about 100 points higher than students that come from families that make less than $20,000 a year. Now that's a study that comes from the book Millennials by the New Strategist. Another statistic is students that come from families that make more than $60,000 have a 1.5% higher probability rate of retaking the SAT than students that come from families that make less than $40,000. Now you may ask why? Why is that? Well, because SAT costs money to take each time. In fact, it's not even a $5 or a $10 fee. It's a $45 fee. That's a lot of money just to take a test. So that's why it caters towards higher income students. And that was a study that was conducted by Oxford University. Now, according to CNBC, it's been reported that students that attend higher income high schools are often given extra time to complete their tests as opposed to students that go to lower income high schools. So you can see there's a trend that the SAT testing process caters towards higher income students. Now that you know the statistics, let's move on to what modifications we can make. Now, as I pointed out before, the SAT costs $45 to take. I would recommend them lowering that fee to $10. In that way, it becomes more fair to higher and lower income students alike. And I would also implement a system that would prevent high schools from giving, well, higher income high schools that is, giving their students extra time. That would definitely help even out the playing field. And I also would like to see high schools implement an SAT curriculum or an SAT preparation curriculum. I remember when I went to high school, there wasn't an SAT preparation curriculum. You were pretty much on your own. There was no services that were offered that would help prepare you for the SAT. You had to do it on your own independent time. So I feel like if high schools would implement that, that would also be a big help. Now that you know about the modifications that we can make, what are the effects these modifications could have? Well, they would decrease the SAT scoring gap among the income groups, which is what you want. The $10 costing fee would give lower income students more incentive to retake the SAT, because if a lower income student only takes the SAT one time while the higher income student takes it about 3 times, that's quite the difference. The higher income student has more of an opportunity to do well because they've taken the test more times than the lower income student. For example, like if under the current system where there's a $45 fee, it costs $135 to take the SAT 3 times. If you reduce the fee to $10, it would just cost $30, and that would be a big help. And the SAT preparation curriculum, as well as the equal time for testing, that would even out the playing field some more. Now you may ask yourself, what can I do? I'm just a lonely student, or I'm a lonely parent. I don't have much to say. Well, the thing about that is you can join student and teacher organizations, get your voice heard, and bring attention to this topic, because lower income people are already at a systematic disadvantage. And it's not right for them to be at a systematic disadvantage when it comes to education. And it's also important to understand that one day your own child may be affected by this. So if you start today, maybe when you do have children, they won't be affected. There'll be an even playing field. So it's important to understand that you have a voice and you should use that voice. In conclusion, the SAT testing process is not fair, and statistics prove that. Higher income students not only do better on the SAT, they are giving more time, and they are more likely to retake the SAT at a fairly high margin. With the proper modifications, such as reducing the SAT fee, implementing a system where every student gets equal time to take the SAT, we can provide a system that's fair to every student regardless of the income bracket. And you can also get your voice heard, join student organizations, join teacher organizations, and provide influence and try to make the SAT testing system a fair process. Thank you.